This is Scott Pratt with Bilinguistics and SLP Impact, and I'm here today to talk about 3 things we can do immediately to more effectively treat cleft lip and palate or velopharyngeal dysfunction. Let's face it, working with a child with a cleft lip or VPI can be very, very daunting. On one hand, we see it very, very infrequently. Sometimes it feels like we've just gotten our mind wrapped around it, or we get our skills back up. Then we don't see it again on our caseload for a while, just long enough to forget everything, right? Also, it's just tough to remediate and produce more intelligible speech when craniofacial anomalies are present. Well, in this video, I want to share 3 things you can do immediately to help your clients. It gets us past the difficult question of, should we wait until surgery or should we wait until another doctor report, where we can actually make changes in intelligibility when the structural cause is still there. So many of us have been there, and in order to make this distance and truly make a change, we need to travel back to our anatomy and physiology classes a bit and ask ourselves one question. What sounds can be improved regardless of cleft palate or VPD? Ready? Here's number 1. Increase vowel repertoire. Is there anything about a cleft palate that should affect vowels? Not really. So we can take data on vowels and try to improve them. Here is some data from a child that I worked with that had velopharyngeal dysfunction. She's a Spanish speaker and Spanish has 5 vowels. She was only producing 2 vowels, which shouldn't have been the case even though she had VPD. We focused on her vowels and immediately got her more intelligible. Vowel production is largely related to aperture of the mouth and protrusion of the lips. So there might be some distortion, but for the most part, there's nothing about a cleft lip or palatal problems that would affect their vowels, or at least give them a greater repertoire. Number 2, increase consonant inventory. So here's the question again. Which consonants should not be affected by most craniofacial anomalies? The answer is any of those sounds that we use our throat for or nasal sounds. Here are 2 lists from the Cleft Palate Surgical Team in Austin, Texas. These are the sounds of words that they would like SLPs to focus on before surgery. So here's another video we're going to look at, and this is consonant work with the same girl who had VPD. Dime, las hojas. La. Pon tu lengua aquí. La. Al. Moi. Da. Almohada. Dime, la ventana. Dime, ven. Okay, and I'm going to slip another one in here. Let's call it 2.5 since I only promised 3 today. Produce better errors. In Spanish, this sounds better because it rhymes. Errores mejores. But here's the idea. There are consonants that a child can produce, right, with cleft palate. These are N, M, eng. So if we think about placement, N has the same placement as da, ta, la. M, bilabial, has the same placement of ba, pa, wa. And canyon, the nya, has the same sound as G and K. So we shouldn't let a child get away with no sounds or the wrong sound. So for example, apple shouldn't be or Firstly, it should have 2 syllables. So if you're producing just for apple, is better. But then it should be amol at the very least, or a burst of M, ample, because P is M with the nose open. Same thing with N. D, T, and L, basically n, da, da, la. The tongue movement on that is the same for N and for those other movements. So if a child can't say D, T, or L in position, which they may not be able to, we should be working towards N, so when they do the surgery, the child already has the tongue placement. Lastly, number 3, increase phonation time. These kids are used to modulating their breath and message by constricting their throat. Totally fine, that's what they have to work with. But you can increase utterance lengths just by increasing the amount of air that they take in. Most of us breathe really shallowly and don't use full capacity of our lungs and our belly, diaphragmatic breathing basically. Teach your kids to inflate their belly and their lungs so they have more air to modulate to produce longer utterances, even though they have less control up top. If you want the full scoop on how to knock it out of the park with children who have cleft lip and palate or VPI, VPD, I created a 90-minute online CEU course which you can access for free at SLP Impact. So you can find that at slpimpact.com. I turned working with these populations from something I worried about to something I love and would love for you to make that transition too. So check it out.